Here are the rules. I will give you 1 minute to pitch, and then the panel will give you some feedback, and then we're on to the next pitch. So, who's ready to pitch first? 1 minute. When it rings, that means you're done. Who's up first?
Yes, sir.
Please, come on up. Ollie, right? Ollie, is that right? So the original pitch to Rocky is Philadelphia club fighter takes a shot at the world's heavyweight title. That's one sentence. Now, you can do more than that. You get a minute. But I'm saying, so in there, what you're doing is, first of all, who's the main character? Philadelphia club fighter. What's the world of the movie? When you say Philadelphia club fighter, that lets you know it's urban, it's inner city, it's dirty, it's violent, right? And then, what is the main goal, the MacGuffin? What is the main exterior goal of that main character? And that is to fight for the world's heavyweight title. So, original Rocky. Philadelphia club fighter takes a shot at the world's heavyweight title. You get everything in there. Now, take longer than that. You get a minute. So I'm going to hand it to the host, and then when I point to you, please begin.
Hello, my name's Ollie. I'm an actor from Ireland. Two monks are floating on a granite millstone across the Irish Sea. They are arguing about whether miracles happen or not. In the meantime, they encounter sea monsters, storms, all that kind of thing, and they have to wrestle with that reality. Do miracles happen when we are all floating in a rock in space? Cheers and go on.
Bravo, round of applause. Woo!
Hey, 20 seconds.
Miracles.
20. You can take a minute.
Now, hold on, I have a question quickly.
I'm very nervous, but yeah.
No,
Hold on.
you look great.
Keep
Well,
the
cheers.
timer
I'm
going.
not nervous at all.
What format? Feature film?
Feature film.
Okay, so it's a feature film. Genre?
The same one that Life of Pi is.
That's pretty. You went a little fast, okay, but I heard you, and maybe there was a couple other things, but this is the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
So how did those guys get out there? They're sunburned. There's got no water, and then they see these monsters. Is it a hallucinating or this and that, or it's a it has a nice story. Just make it not like similar ones. Make something special in there. Okay, next time you get another minute.
Sara?
I love the originality. I love your passion. I like that you're telling something that you know, and it's your story, and you're Irish. And so that's one of the most important things, is coming from your background and tell what you know. That's one of the most important things, especially when I hear people give pitches, is if they're just telling someone else's story, you can tell it's not genuine. You can tell when it's not authentic, and I can tell, and we can all tell, that this is something that is true to you and something that you wrote. So I really like that about you. As Mark was saying, slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit, which is great. But I do, and try to get in and pepper a little bit more about the characters. But I love how succinct you are.
Cool.
So.
Okay, my first question is, how did you survive it?
Yeah.
So,
It's a good story.
and you reminded me of my absolute favorite TV show of all time, Father Ted. I just love the TV show, and the joke about it being literally God. You know, it's brilliant. I would echo that it's awful being first.
Yeah.
Just remember, for everybody, like everything we're saying here is for everybody, right? Everyone in the room is on your side.
Yes.
Everybody in the room wants you to succeed, and they already love what you're sharing. It's clear from the way you present that you love it, and I can see the twinkle in your eye, that this is gold. And you nailed it with 20 seconds, which I think is a record in the ones that I've done.
You did a bunch with me, and you saw it. They always go over.
They always go over. So I have a pet peeve about pitches, which is to just open with, it's a live action feature film, and end maybe with it's in the style of, right? Open with, like, you nailed it anyway with the description. And if you are, of course, different pitches are for different purposes. So if you're looking for money, you can end with, we're looking for like 1 to 3 million or 5 to 15, 5 to 10 million, whatever. End with what your ask is. This is really useful when you're pitching. When you present something to people, it's a bit like they say on YouTube videos, always say, be sure to subscribe. Because people actually don't think of subscribing unless you remind them.
Sure.
So if you say, you could say, we're looking for partnerships, we're looking for talent or whatever. Name the ask.
Okay.
And try not to make it lots of asks, because if you have more than one, people will forget all of them.
Sure.
But I thought that was rock solid. Bravo.
Yeah.
I
Let's give him
agree.
another hand.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
Next up.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll give you
Go ahead and call
many
the next
likes.
one. Here, Maxim,
Oh,
take
next?
over. Maxim, take over.
All right, fantastic.
Okay,
Thank you.
so take a breath.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remember,
I'm supposed to do my job.
remember, life is beautiful. And over to you.
And begin.
Hi, my name is Sara. I'm here with a 90-minute psychological horror, which brings together two of the most popular genres right now, of course, horror and true crime. It's very much Black Mirror meets You, but really drawing into those horror filmmaking techniques to really draw that horror audience in. It's set in the Scottish Highlands. It follows a woman and her boyfriend as they go out to a remote bothy, which is a cabin in the Scottish remote area of Scotland. And it really, at its core, it's really about making a conversation about how true crime is becoming entertainment and the ethical implications of that. So we've got a great team. Our post-production is working on Megan and Spartacus right now. We're looking for financial equity or a co-production of 80,000, so very micro budget, and we're looking to do making most of the UK tax incentives.
Bravo! Round of applause. Here's the good thing.
Wait. Before you go away, I'll just say Maxim and I both have a friend who's working on the Spartacus series.
Yeah.
Doc Jones.
In New Zealand?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, great.
All right, I'll go first, and you guys can ruminate. I loved your energy presenting it. I felt. Truth is, though, I don't feel like I know anything about the story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I felt I got there was like, it's my fault. I told you to do like the concepts and everything. I take full. I'm British. It's always our fault. You could just blame us for anything. Like if the tide goes out, the British. So. I would suggest that you get the core information at the beginning, core information at the end, but the only bit we're really excited about is the story.
Yeah.
And you can convey the narrative. So we're sort of visualizing it as you describe it. What I felt you gave me was useful information in the investor deck, but it was categories of thing rather than the thing.
The heart
Just
of
give
it,
me
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
And boy meets girl, turns out to be an alien. There's the twist. So somebody write that screenplay. So I think somebody did. So that's all I would say, really. I thought the way you presented it was great. I wouldn't bother mentioning things like tax incentives or anything like that. Don't bother. This is the ask, full stop.
Yeah.
Anybody that's actively producing films knows about tax incentives. It's pretty great in the UK at the moment. But don't bother with the logistics. And so, for example, you mentioned that you have a great team. Nobody cares during a pitch.
Yeah.
What they care about is emotional, human stakes, and put that into the pitch.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly right. And that's exactly as you said. The guy and the girl out there in the thing, and I was and I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear you say, and this is the what they went through, and this is the peril, and this is that is exactly what I wanted to hear. But yes, I did really appreciate your professionalism. So that definitely came through. And on this side of things, and as whether it was through a Zoom, and when we were doing pitch sessions as well, and a lot of you may also be pitching things over Zoom with 5 other people, from Netflix or HBO or something on this side. And they are business people. I mean, again, this is an entertainment business. So you do have to realize each one of them also has a boss that they may have to go to and pitch this to. So you're giving them the nuggets that they have to go and then pitch to the people who then they have to pitch to. So you always have to remember to give them kind of those gems and those nuggets. So give them kind of little talking points and things that they can remember. So about the story and about why they need to, hang on to this thing. How is this going to make them money? How is this going to make them the next big, Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
What is going to make this the Ted Lasso? What is going to make this The Walking Dead? So, so just think about that.
Yeah, thanks.
I have a couple of things. I don't think you should mimic a mirror. That's it. Don't mirror. Think out of the box with that special team you got that you mentioned, okay? Did you, at 19 years old, go away with your boyfriend to a lake and you did a crime and then that was horrible? Okay. You understand? Just think outside the box. They already they would only pick up on something. Hey. And if you mimic it, it's just cheapens it. You know what I'm saying? And I think you can do better.
I've got...
No, it's cool to do that. Out of the box. There's got to be a couple of things that was special. Register it, and then you can show it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, who's next? Do it. Come on.
Do it.
Yes.
Go.
And cool hat.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you got 1 minute to blow our minds.
Terrific.
Over to you.
And begin.
Hi, my name is Ilan. It's nice to meet all of you. I have a prestige biopic about the father of modern Hebrew and the love triangle he had with my great-grandmother and her older sister. It takes place at the end of the Ottoman Empire, and it shows the struggles the family went through in order to get the dictionary published, in order to revive a language, and through their grief, their sacrifice, and all of their struggles, to also revive a nation. And the theme of the movie is we can all speak the same language. The heavy in the movie, their biggest opposition was the chief rabbi. And they did everything to make the family stop, including stoning their dog to death. And when the chief rabbi got this writer of the dictionary thrown into jail, into an Ottoman, if you like, a Turk prison, he gets a chance to say to him, "This might be terrible." And so you get that prescience in the movie.
Bravo! You want to go first?
I do need to go first. Okay, you did break the number one rule. The dog died.
I know it.
I'm sorry, I did have to bring that up.
I know it. But
Okay,
the dog
don't tell the dog.
has to die.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it.
Anybody,
I knew it.
has anybody
You gotta know your
seen
audience.
What just happened? Has anybody seen the movie What Just Happened? The dog must die. It's a great movie. It's star-studded.
I know.
And who's the lead? De Niro. De Niro is the lead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote it
Okay,
the name.
I was totally playing with you. You are
But I get it.
phenomenal.
Thank
I
you.
love your passion, and the
Thank you.
most important thing is your personal tie to the story and how that comes through. And that is it's so evident and it's so powerful. And I mean, that's one of the most important things in this business, is just having that personal tie. That's why it's going to be successful. I mean, really, being able to have that passion, have that, and then being able to find the right team and the right collaborators to make that happen and make it successful, that's what's going to be your key.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I like that. And the history, and being a Yid myself, and Jews, it's what the Jewish heritage does a lot is, they make truth, out of, jest. And if you can get some humor, which there was humor, your dog can die.
Listen, if my great-grandmother, who is the narrator of this movie, it's really her movie, if she were here pitching, what she would say is, I just got an advance to do this movie and the sequel. Are you going to let them make your movie?
Yeah.
Right. Stuff
Like-
that just the humor, it's there.
Yeah.
And don't for outside the box. Forget the
Yeah,
Jews.
exactly.
It's your audience is more than Jews.
It is. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Thank
Israel.
you.
And that,
Israel
that is an important thing too. Focus, and anybody here, Now's the time to work with, work with the Jewish Foundation, work with different organizations. Everybody here who's working on any different film, see who you can partner with. Make sure that you understand that although this is your story and your family's story, I mean, as you know, you're working with larger organizations, and you're also trying to tell the story of, all of us speaking the same language. So this is something that can be done with a fiscal sponsorship. This is something where you can get grants. You can work with larger foundations. You have, you can accept donations, and you can be taking this as a bigger picture and sharing this with the world. So, you have a phenomenal message. You can be, doing this and making a difference with it. So thank you.
Thank you.
If you're looking for money, the more religious the Jewish Foundation is,
Yes.
the less you're going to get, okay? This can be sold to the Reform and other people. That's what you want your audience to be. You're sharing the education, a nice story, and then you go to the higher guys, oh yeah, I heard it before. They're not going to pay attention. They get it. But serious, Reform is good.
Thank you. That's helpful. That's super helpful.
I just want to add that sucked, and
I'll go home now.
I think you really nailed it, and I love the way you ramped up the drama curve of your own pitch.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off one thing, and then it's like, wait, what? And you saw my face as my jaw dropped, and it's like, wait, the woman and her older sister, and then the dog. And but I do think your title might have to be "The Dog Must Die." I think that's.
I'll take it under.
Must die.
I will take it under advisement.
But I have one suggestion is that as you were describing it, I felt like what you're describing is an epic film. In my mind, it was sort of like Gladiator scale, but I felt like that the tone of the piece was missing from your pitch. Is this a kind of small kind of drama thing between characters where we get a kitchen sink style, or is this more epic forces at work in the world and the grand development of civilization? I didn't know from your pitch which it was.
Great.
And that made it a little bit more difficult for me to imagine what you were describing.
Gotcha.
I loved that you mentioned it being connected with your family, because again we were talking earlier about human emotional stakes. So there's an authenticity to the story because you have that inside view. That's very powerful. And then you double down on that power by saying, well, it was this, and then it was that, and then it's the origin of the language. I heard a similar story about the origin of Italian. Some dude just said, hey, we should have our own language, and persuaded a nation to have a different language. So I loved it, but that was my only note. It was just like, just set the tone of the piece.
Great. Thank you.
All right, let's give him a hand.
Thanks, all.
All right, next up, come on, we have to have more. There must be more pictures.
Yes.
Do it. Go. Well, actually, you need this mic.
Yeah, no problem. I can be without.
All
So
right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. But no. So just I will tell one stuff that I will read. I'm sorry, I'm not native speaker in English, and when I'm stressed, I can make a lot of mistakes.
Let me give you a quick thing.
Yeah.
So read some, but keep looking up.
Of course.
And if you need to, keep your thumb close to where you're at. And
Okay.
begin.
Okay, this is a dramedy feature film that takes viewers behind the scenes of the popular platform OnlyFans. So, the story follows two main characters. A young woman who works as an online manager for the popular adult content creator. She chats, flirts, and with subscribers, all on behind of the model. So, and the second character, it's a lonely and sex-addicted man who is actually young man, really, like he's 19 or 20 years old. A lonely and sex-addicted, so spending his days consumed by adult content. He becomes obsessed with the model and starts believing they share a real connection. Their online conversation become deeper and conversation become deeper and below the surface, beyond the fantasy. Okay, so I need a bit more time, thank you. But there is one thing that has not told him. He's never actually spoken to the model. So he's been talking to her. and he teeters on the edge of emotional collapse. She must decide: will she revile to the truth, or risk destroying him, or tell him hopes, or saving him? So it's a darkly funny and emotional stuff, and so we're looking for the producers and money.
Bravo!
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Whew, my God.
I'm a little, and don't worry about the language, just that is the elephant part, the background and the comfort, or to look at is the the piece, because I'm going to tell you, don't get that guy near an elephant, man. The guy, you know,
Yeah.
the story. But he's stay away from. I love elephants and the thing. There's a lot of common, you know, you turn away from the hurt and what they're doing. The intelligence of them to your audience, or somehow in there, would be more powerful than, because they all know they're getting destroyed and everything. To base it on their intelligence and how they're good mommies, and in the background this guy's a conniver, whatever, and it all survives, right? Like
Yeah.
the elephant.
Like the
You
elephant.
did good. You did
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Thank you.
Do you have a connection with OnlyFans?
I had a. Oh, okay, sorry. With OnlyFans, yeah, but not like with the creators or something like.
Okay,
even-
that's what I was wondering. I mean, because that is one thing that, you know, just as everybody knows, you're going to have to navigate that. Either you're going to have to make up some other different name for
Exactly,
it
yeah.
and just pretend it's something along those lines, because you do have to watch out with copyright issues and a lot of different things as you're writing stuff. So, you know, you may have to make up, just keep that in mind as do you already have the script written?
Yes.
Okay, so did you name it something else other than OnlyFans?
For now, it's just only business, and then we will see. Yes.
Okay, I mean, always make sure to be aware of that, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just make sure you have your good entertainment attorney. Make sure you have all your contracts, you have everything signed. So I'm just bringing up a couple business points that you need to be aware of as you're doing.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Thank you.
one thing, if you give the script to somebody,
Wait, for the recording.
if you give the script, your native language is Russian or
Russian, yeah, and
okay,
French.
hold on.
But, yeah.
There's some people that do it, but when you hand in your script, make sure you go over it a few times, reading it, because sometimes the interpretation or the translating it gets lost or wrong.
Ah, yeah, it's
okay?
true. Yeah,
That's
of
all I'm
course.
saying.
No,
That's good.
it's right, and
You know what
we
I'm saying?
think, yeah,
Look,
for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah,
and
but
you have to have those. Change the words, because you have to get the words
Yeah.
that your emotion that you're trying to send.
thank you.
That's all.
Yeah.
I love the concept. My only note really is, you mentioned towards the beginning of the pitch primarily, that it was about, in the context of the OnlyFans platform. I think it's more elegant to just mention OnlyFans in the course of the story, and then just add as a footnote in your pitch, for example, you could say, it's about a woman who has produces content on OnlyFans, the most popular, often adult online content platform.
Yeah, yeah.
So make the description of the platform kind of an afterthought for the description. Never presume your audience knows about it, but we need it in the context of the narrative, not as the setup to the story. Otherwise, we're back to categories.
Okay.
And so you can mention, because if it's relevant to the story, that exactly the part that you shared, that people, I've heard about this, that people on that platform, they do messaging. And I met a guy years ago, 2 years ago, who had an AI system that he sold to models on OnlyFans, and the AI would train on the model's chats with her customers. It's like a subscription thing, right? So and they chat. He would train the AI on it, and then all of her subscribers
Yeah.
would
Followers,
think they
yeah.
were chatting with her, but they were actually chatting with the AI.
Like they have usually like 3 or 4 manager behind the model.
Right.
So that's now
Yeah,
they
so the
change it
managers.
for the
Now, he created an automated system, and of course it's kind of horrifying because these lonely people that think they're connecting with somebody and they're not at all.
Yeah.
So I love that concept. It's real. It's like a. Never mind. It's real.
Do you know that you met your guy on the thing you said?
It's just a thing.
Yeah,
So
AI, right? It's, like
it's
make
AI.
believe.
Yeah, no, it's AI. So I love the concept. There is that kind of sauciness to it, and you need to make a decision about whether you're going to play into the implied sexiness of the topic, or whether you're going to back away from that.
Oh.
And I think it's good to call that out, because I think that there is a danger you could be accused of creating content that's is the word salacious?
Salacious.
That's exciting because maybe there's nudity in it or there's sexy stuff in it. But I think if you frame it in the genre that it's like a situation comedy concept piece, then you tell people then that it's not that kind of a movie. So just give people that context so they know what to expect.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Thank
tell
you.
you, I
Thank
didn't
you.
pick up on that OnlyFans because actually it's sex is the thing. It's only sex. And then everybody's a little different in it. And they do get their subscribing. I never went on it. They won't. They make a lot of money.
Okay, we believe you. Okay, a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Methinketh Mark protesteth
Hey,
too
Dan.
much. No, please.
Who's up?
And
All right.
begin.
Hi, I am Dr. Mariana Staroselsky. I am a playwright, a psychological anthropologist, and I am from a place that no longer exists, the Soviet Union. Yes. So that's what inspired me to write The Soviet Union of Iowa. It's a single cam, half-hour fantastical sitcom. Think Fresh Off the Boat meets Wilfred. And the logline is, after her family flees the anti-Semitism of the Soviet Union for 90s Iowa, a motherless kindergartner learns to navigate her strange new world with the bickering of a cantankerous Russian nesting doll and an image-obsessed Barbie. So we meet little Masha as they're landing in, what is that out, that yellow stuff that she sees from her plane window? It is not the Crimean beach, as her mom told me. It's Iowa. It's corn. So from the beginning, they're met with, Jewish Federation volunteers, and not only do they not know how to be American, they don't know how to be Jewish. So it's really the discovery of how to cope, but from both the little girl's point of view as well as the point of view of all of her family members. And I'm looking for partnerships and funders. So thank you.
Bravo! I'll go first this time. So I love the energy with which you presented it.
Thank you.
I kind of love that you gave your credentials, it's impressive credentials.
Thank you.
And the relevance of your context, your own journey. I think for me, I kind of wanted to feel like there was more story and less, this is the kind of thing that happens. And so I liked the reference you made to, this isn't the sandy beach I was expecting, this is the
Yeah.
cornfields. That's a lovely detail. It conveys the sort of sentiment, the warmth of the story. I just think you stumbled on it a tiny bit as you said it, so it made it harder to follow. So just get that, if you're doing your elevator pitch, you've got to do it again and again. And this isn't an elevator pitch, but you need to get it just right. And what I've found from pitching things myself is that very often you land on a phrasing for something that's just exactly those words. And just practice those words so it just flies naturally. But it sounds great. I love that you gave us the context at the beginning that this is episodic, so we get this idea that the character's going to grow with us over time. Like you mentioned some geopolitical stuff at the beginning, and many people in the room, many people you pitch to are going to know about that and they're going to understand the significance of it, but many are not. So in order to protect the power of your pitch, just give like a sentence to get the flavor of the thing. She's coming from this place, which was like this, and she's going to that place, which is like that. You don't need to go into a lot of detail, and you can say it as because of course we all know it was like this, but nobody wants to admit they don't know something. So if you reference something historical that they don't know, they don't want to admit they don't know, but
Yeah.
you've lost them. As Hitchcock said, a confused audience is a bored audience. So avoid any possibility that they might not know the history of these places. And you just throw it in there and just tell the story. She lands and this happens.
Right. Thank you.
So the reason I wasn't bored is because I had to land in Iowa.
What? You did?
Because my husband ended up getting a residency there. So I also had to be like, wow, this is where we're living. But yes, no, this is truly exciting. I wanted to hear more. I was
Great.
super enthralled with it. I mean, what a great story. And then
Thank you.
just see it out of a child's eyes. So this is really, it's truly, everything that you're saying and that Maxim was saying really does ring true, though. To capture us with the full kind of arc as to why, give me the nugget, give me the true essence of what this whole thing is about. And then obviously you're not going to be able to do that, cover the entire series arc in 1 minute, but
Right.
like with episodic, but it still is truly, I love to see your passion, and I love
Thank
seeing
you.
what you're talking about. So that was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a comedy, and
Yeah.
this is how you get to your audience.
Okay.
Okay, and you teach them the history by those characters that you have. They're kids. You want to bring in the audience. I would, okay. So you have a wider shot. It's boring you go with the whole thing, but they wanted to learn, right? The customs and stuff. So you just show them bumbling around, and honestly, try it, but it's funny, right?
Yeah.
And anybody else in there. People will learn from the, laughing, okay? They see that, they'll pick up on it. And people don't really understand, try to get the Soviet Union in it. I mean, it's from that and whatever, but don't get too political.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Thank
give
you
it a hand.
so much. Thank you.
All right, well done. Who else do we have?
We
Anybody?
have one. Yes.
We have another pitcher.
Okay, hello.
Yes, hello. Thank you for
You
having
ready?
me.
You're ready.
Take a deep breath.
Cheers,
And
ready.
begin.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Rebecca Colby. I'm a UK-based American author of almost 50 books and a screenwriter.
Wow.
My feature film, Mingle All the Way, is a tragic comedy that could be pitched as the Breakfast Club for Generation X. The log line: trapped at a speed dating event in the run-up to Christmas, 5 middle-aged singles are forced to spend the night with mismatched strangers and their respective midlife crises. And the reason I wrote this, as you can tell looking at all the wrinkles, I am middle-aged myself, and I'm single, and I've spent a lot of time speed dating and online dating, so that was part of my inspiration. And also I challenged myself to write a contained film.
Don't worry about the helicopter and all that stuff, because I was just at the Cannes Next and the immersion thing, and we'll cover that with all the LED walls and all the other stuff. Don't worry, we can handle it. We can do all that kind of stuff. I think the way that you took us through the entire pitch and did it so succinctly and covered everything, I thought it was truly fantastic.
Thank you. That was a benefit of going last.
Oh,
Really.
really. I mean, you did learn. I mean, everybody here though was truly fantastic. I mean, all of you were amazing. Really, really. Sorry, you were going to say that. I know, and you will say it. You will say it much more eloquently than I do. Yes, because you have a much better voice than I do. One thing may I recommend is, because of this and because of the Christmas thing and because it's formulaic a little bit, just please make sure that with the singles and with the different thing and with the 5 couples, please don't make them so stereotypical like many people just tend to do, especially when they're doing something along these lines and in this genre. People are like, okay, good, we'll have, the jock and the whatever. And especially because you just said, like, the Breakfast Club, people will tend to do that, especially as a filmmaker and as a younger filmmaker or a first-time filmmaker. They'll be like, okay, good, we're going to have this person who is this. make sure your characters are very dimensional and have a lot of different sides to them. Try not to just write them as a one sentence thing.
Great advice, thank you.
I just thought it was great. You had me with the hook. You had me with this whole idea of a bunch of Gen Xers being stuck in a building. Like the whole Breakfast Club thing sold. The only thing that, and the way you presented it, the smile on your face, because you know what you've got is good. The only gap for me was that I started imagining the sorts of things that would happen, but it didn't feel like you gave me any. So I think it would have hit home more impactfully if you'd given just 2 examples of things that happen. And there's so many opportunities for you to play to the memes, right? Like there's that whole thing about don't disturb the Gen Xers, you know? And so you could have, there's plenty of opportunities for comedy. I don't want to feed it to you, but if you just gave me a couple of little anecdotal details of the story, this happens and that's the outcome, that in a way that reassures me that you get your own joke. So I think, so I know I've understood the joke because we get each other's humor. If you can give me that example, it will give me confidence that you know how to write this and that the story is ready to be told. Apart from just asking for a couple of examples, I just wanted to laugh with you. And if you give me a couple of examples in your pitch, it would have taken it to the next level.
Okay, I'll tell you later about the cuddle therapy session. That's in the film.
Would love to hear it.
Thank you so
Big
much.
round of applause.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And with that great pitch, we're going to wrap up this year's The Sessions. Please come back next year, and they will be even more fantastic.